quite extraordinary goings-on in the rail ticket pricing arena. In some areas, they're set to double on a state-owned railway this weekend. I mean, double. I mean, there's no exaggeration here. LNER is scrapping off-peak and super off-peak tickets, meaning some journeys will cost significantly more. The changes are part of a 2-year trial aimed at simplifying fares and making rail pricing easier to understand. Let's just get a brief word on this. Simon Calder, travel correspondent at the Independent. Afternoon to you, Simon. I was looking at some of the examples of this. I mean, they are literally horrific. People's ticket going up from sort of 95 quid to £200. I mean, this is not a tiny little increase. This is huge. What's going on?
Oh, OK. Yeah, it's a really alarming headline in the Telegraph, and a lot of people will be saying, I thought so, rail fares are just a rip-off. But actually what's happening is on the state-run LNER, which is basically Britain's flagship rail line connecting the north of Scotland with Edinburgh, Newcastle, Yorkshire and London, they have been kind of under instructions to try to simplify rail ticketing, because all the research shows that people are absolutely bamboozled by all the different rail fares. This is referring to a very specific category of tickets, off-peak and super off-peak tickets, which people like me, who've got too much time on our hands, are very keen to get, because it means, for instance, with an off-peak ticket, you could start off in Edinburgh, have your 11s in Durham, maybe go to York, a spot of lunch and maybe some shopping there, head down to Peterborough to see the beautiful cathedral, and still do it all on one ticket. Now, what LNER is saying, our trains are busy. We simply want people to mostly book advance tickets. If you want all that flexibility, then you are going to have to pay for an anytime ticket, which, frankly, Ian, feels more like more like an on-the-spot fine than an actual travel ticket. Or we'll do this, and this is the weird bit. We're going to do something called semi-flex. So you're able to buy a ticket that's valid on trains plus or minus 70 minutes. That's never caught on with me. I travel all the time on trains, particularly LNER. I'm not particularly worried about this, not least because the railway has an awful lot of people who will make it their absolute life's work to make sure that prices aren't actually doubling. They will find workarounds, so don't panic, everybody. But it is actually a really good thing to mention, because the only way we're going to get more people on the trains is by simplifying ticketing. Once you do that, then I'm afraid some fares go up quite a lot, others come down, others stay the same.
Yeah, I think most people would favour that if you're going to find, there's a really expensive ticket, there's the off-peak version, then make the expensive one the price of the off-peak rather than the other way round, which obviously is what they've done on some of these issues.
Well, they've just actually cut all the peak fares in Scotland, which is great, except it's all coming out of taxpayers' pockets, basically. It's not going to make enough difference cutting the fares to in terms of attracting more people on the railway. So it's a thorny old subject. I can absolutely guarantee we will be back for more of this when they say, actually, some fares are going up.
Indeed. But you rightly say, find a workaround. Do it, go online, do whatever you need to do, and maybe you still get your cheaper tickets. Simon, thank you as ever. Simon Calder, travel editor over there at the Independent. Thank you to him.